89.3 WBLD, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake. Hello and welcome to the Megacast for Tuesday. My name is Dave Scott. Good to have you here. Tyler Keefe is running around the building. He'll be here in just a moment, and we are going to get the Megacast underway for you. We've got a great show lined up today. Do not misconstrue that little cough as anything bad going on with my health. So far, I think I'm doing okay. I always need a sip of coffee when we're getting the day going. So I think I'm fine. I hope you're fine. We're all together here each and every day doing the best we can to isolate ourselves and make sure we're healthy and make sure we get you the most important information. Excuse me. I'm sure it's not a sign of things to come. I think we're doing fine. Get you the most important information you need each and every day. Tyler Keefe is joining us in the studio. I don't think, Tyler, I coughed right. I don't think I coughed right. I think I used my hand. I didn't. So we'll be okay. Don't touch the board.
No, I won't.
In fact, get the wipes out and let's wipe everything down to make sure we're all right. Hey, we got a great show lined up today. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to the fine people at the BIF, 88.1 WBFH. The BIF, am I saying that right?
You are. Yes.
Okay, 88.1 WBFH, the BIF, now joining us here on the Megacast, 89.3 Lakes FM, of course, Civic Center TV. You can find us on TV in Channel 15 and Channel 19 on Comcast, and of course on Channel 99 on AT&T. We have so much going on our website right now. All the Megacast information is here. You got things cleaned up over there, Tyler? You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All of the Megacast information is all over the website. An amazing amount of new data. We're going to go through that today. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to check in with Ken Gutman, the superintendent at Walled Lake Schools, checking in again today. And what a great job, Tyler, they did last week when they were with us. They are our Facebook partner for today. And we had a ton of people. I mean, thousands of people checking in last week when Walled Lake was with us. So we are really glad that they are here today. On the program, we're going to talk to Ken. We also have a variety of other guests. Cynthia Kahn will be joining us, and she is the founder of Refuge for Nations. And I believe they are putting together, it's a nonprofit that is doing its part to put together all kinds of supplies. They are a group of seamstresses that I understand are putting together gowns and masks right here in our area. We'll find out about them. We'll also talk to the Naturalist from the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Department. Curt Lawson joins us, one of our local law enforcement officials, and a whole lot more here in the program. Now, if you are watching online right now, I want to show you some of the updates we've done to the website. And if you go to coronavirus, you're going to find links right here for those of you watching on Civic Center TV. Right here at the top of the page, you're going to find links to the Center for Disease Control, the state of Michigan, Oakland County, all of the different communities around us, and we'll grow that list. And then a lot of really interesting stories that we have put together that are of unique interest to people in the Bloomfield, West Bloomfield, Kego, Sylvan Lake, Birmingham area. So I strongly advise you to go to civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. The one thing that's been getting more attention than anything over the last 24 hours, Oakland County put out this page here that you're seeing on TV right now. And this is a zip code by zip code assessment of where we are with the coronavirus. It's a zip code by zip code assessment of where we are right now with the coronavirus. And Tyler, have you taken a chance to take a look at that yet?
I haven't taken a great look at it, but I know I took a little bit of a look at it last night after my dad actually sent me this link, because his zip code is a little bit of a hotbed, 48322. It had a little bit higher levels than some other areas, and he was a little bit concerned about that.
So let's go in there, 48322. 48322. He lives in West Bloomfield, then I presume.
Correct.
All right. So you can see in the map now, you put in 48322. It highlights an area. And for those of you watching on TV right now, you can see that area is a darker blue. And then you can go up here to the upper left-hand corner of the page and see exactly the current status of the coronavirus exposure in that area. 93 cases. And remember that we're not doing all the testing that we really need to do. If you want a good reminder to wash your hands, stay at home, take care of stuff, just take a look. I mean, forget the national maps you see on TV, because none of us are going to New York or Miami or New Orleans or Chicago or probably anywhere right now. But take a look at this map right here of Oakland County. So where your dad lives, it is 28%, actually 0.28%. Let's get that right. 0.28% of the population in that area, and that population in that area is 32,748. 93 people have tested positive right in the neighborhood where your dad lives, Tyler. So this is a really interesting page. You can get to it by going to civiccentertv.com, go to the Oakland County resources. Right there, you click on that link, and then it's going to pop open that page right there. And I'm telling you, that's not the only resource that's in here. There's a ton of other stuff. If you go over to the Megacast link on the page, we're going to be spending a lot of time in here today because we have done a really good job, the team, of taking all the clips from the show, our full interviews, audio archives, and the comments that we've had over the past couple of days have been really, remarkably eye-opening, honest, and I think very helpful. So just to give you an example, we'll go into the audio archives real quick and just take a look, and I think we'll be able to hear this. Pat Watson speaking yesterday.
Hope is not a plan.
Hold on one second. The superintendent of Bloomfield Hills Schools yesterday on the show, I thought this is a very concise and clear comment. Let's listen again.
Hope is not a plan. And so I know right now, hope isn't something we're using. We're simply planning. School's going to be out. How do we move kids forward? What are the top districts? What are they doing online, nationally? How can we mimic that, leverage what we have, and then be a step above everyone else?
All right. I mean, hope is not a plan. That says it all, Tyler. Hope is not a plan. From Pat Watson at Bloomfield Hills Schools. He's right. These numbers are getting worse. We got to figure out what to do. We have to have a plan. We can hope. We can pray for the best, but hope, Tyler, hope is not a plan.
And I think that applies really well to all facets of mitigating this in every which way. For schools, hope is not a plan. They have to figure out a way to continue to educate the kids, whether they're going to be back in brick and mortar schools or continue to be virtual. For community organizations and first responders, they have to figure out a way. They have to have a plan to treat the community and to protect the community without putting themselves and their families at risk. And it's something like us also, where we have to have a plan to be able to inform the community without, of course, putting our operations and our people at risk as well. So you can't hope for this to end. You have to inform the people, and you have to keep communication lines going and have plans to mitigate the situation.
Well, good point on your part, and I thought a really good comment, an insightful comment yesterday from Patrick Watson, former principal at West Bloomfield High School, now the superintendent in Bloomfield Hills. Speaking about brilliant superintendents, look who's on our computer screen. It's Kenneth Gutman, the superintendent, Walled Lake Consolidated Schools. Superintendent Gutman, thank you for joining us again right here on the Megacast.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on again.
All right. Well, the show and the broadcast has gotten bigger. So we now are on WBFH 88.1. I'm working on growing across Oakland County so we can reach more people. And let me thank you too, and everyone in Walled Lake. You have a social media thing going on there that's crazy, because so many people were with us last week when you were with us. So good job by everybody in Walled Lake to get the word out, and we really appreciate you being back with us and being our Facebook partner again today.
Oh, thank you. It's our pleasure to be a part of this. And certainly we appreciate our community relations department for their social media presence as well.
So, Superintendent Gutman, when I talked to Patrick Watson in Bloomfield Hills yesterday, he was pretty straight, and I heard the governor on Paul W. Smith's show today. I don't think there's any question that, it hasn't been officially said, but I don't think there's a lot of mystery about what's going to be happening with the balance of the school year. Your thoughts?
It's coming. I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion that we'll be canceling the school year. I think we're just waiting for the announcement, and it is obviously, I hate to banter, we use the word unprecedented. It seems like it's so overused, but it is. And at the same time, although it's not ideal because you can't replace a face-to-face classroom teacher, we're going to make the best of it in Walled Lake and around Oakland County. I'm sure Pat shared the same thing. We're going to take care of our kids the best we can virtually. And so although I believe it's an eventuality, we're preparing for it. We've been working on it for a while now, just in case.
And I think of the pillars of our community here, especially in the bedroom communities that we broadcast to. West Bloomfield, Bloomfield Hills, Walled Lake, your area, and Waterford and beyond. Primarily, I mean, we have some commerce in our communities, but primarily we are places where people go to after they're done with work. And so when you think about what's there and the pillars and the resources that are there to support the people that are tuning in right now, hospitals, police, fire, first responders, and schools. So it's got to be kind of an awesome responsibility for you.
It's not one we take lightly, obviously, and it's one we take seriously every day when we're face-to-face with students. This just makes our challenge even greater, because what we worry about the most are students who are most vulnerable, the students who may not have technology or access to technology, in spite of our efforts to get them Chromebooks and other types of resources. Our students who are living in poverty, our students who struggle. We have to work even harder to reach them, and I worry a great deal about them. We take that very seriously.
Ken Gutman joining us, the superintendent of Walled Lake Consolidated School District. So, not everybody was with us when we got together last time. Why don't you run down what your school district is doing, and you can talk about the other districts around you. I know your superintendents are all keeping in touch with each other to work together. What are the services that schools, be it Walled Lake, West Bloomfield, Bloomfield Hills, any of the others, are offering right now to help get us through this very difficult time?
Thank you. And that just gives me an opportunity to once again talk about how proud I am of our community and our parents and our staff, our students who are working online. Our staff stepped up right away. We turned this around in a weekend, and all of a sudden they're doing WebExes and other forms of online learning with students, and Zoom meetings and Google Classroom. So we're providing instruction to all of our students, albeit not the best instruction that we would provide face-to-face. Pretty good stuff, and from what I'm seeing from our teachers, it's pretty incredible. We're also stepping up and providing meals. Yesterday alone, we provided almost 13,000 meals to anyone who age 18 or younger whose parents or they came up to get food. So we were giving 2 meals a day, 7 days a week, and again, almost 13,000 meals yesterday. We distributed technology, almost 11,000 Chromebooks to parents, or 1,100. I apologize. And so we're doing our best to try to create an environment where people feel safe, where there's virtual learning, because we also know that learning doesn't happen unless you feel safe. And so certainly we worry about a lot of our kids. We worry about staff members and community members who are struggling, who may have lost their jobs, who may not have food. So we're going to step up and continue to do whatever we can to provide the kind of environment where our students can continue to learn and grow in spite of difficult times.
Well, it is a difficult time, Ken Gutman, superintendent of Walled Lake Schools, and it is amazing. You say 13,000 meals. I know you're not checking a driver's license or an ID, and you don't really care if someone is a enrolled student in your district. If somebody's hungry, you and the other schools we've heard from in our area are giving them a helping hand no matter what, right?
That's right. We're going to feed anyone 18 and younger. We're going to make sure they have meals. And that's just a big community effort. And we're all in this together.
Well, no question about it. Ken Gutman, our guest, he is the superintendent, Walled Lake Consolidated Schools. If you're tuning in, my name is Dave Scott here at Civic Center TV, and in our Lakes FM radio studio today, because that's where all the gear is, Tyler Keefe over there, 6 feet away on the other side of the radio studio. Tyler, good to have you with us again today, and we want to thank you for tuning in on the radio, Lakes FM, the Biff, 88.1, WBFH, the Biff, covering even more area together, and on CivicCenterTV.com and all of our other assets. We really appreciate you being with us. Ken Gutman, so this is an evolving situation, no question about it. We first looked at it, we thought, yeah, okay, this is going to hit us. And now we find, and looking at this map that Oakland County put up today, I could show it to people real quick. I mean, you can go to this interactive map, put your zip code in, and see exactly how many cases there are. In fact, Ken, let's do that real quick. What's the zip code in Walled Lake where you are, or very close to you?
48390.
48390. I love that we can do this. So, and people are seeing that on TV. So I brought 48390. You have 12 reported cases in your zip code, 23,000 people. You're in an area that in our region has not been hit quite as hard. Southfield, Oak Park, parts of West Bloomfield, much worse shape. But that, even that being said, as we come back to you, Ken, even that being said, this is getting more and more complicated, and we talked to the fire chiefs and first responders yesterday, and they said, well, we'll be able to respond, but the hospitals are filling up. Caretakers are getting sick. It's going to get harder for us to do the things that we're doing right now. Can I have your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And please know we're in 9 different municipalities. I just gave you one. So we do know people, obviously, who are affected with coronavirus, who are suffering. I will tell you that our relationship with our first responders has been tremendous. And I think of people like Chief Patton and others and think we're really fortunate to be in a community like this where people are stepping up and really working hard to take care of our kids. Paul Shakinis and Walled Lake, Dave Malloy and Novi, all these police chiefs and others and fire chiefs, they're really out there taking care of communities and kids at their own peril. And we couldn't be more indebted to them. They're great community partners and they care deeply.
Well, I agree, and we're all doing everything we can. How are you doing, your family, and the employees at the school district right now?
Thank you. Yes. Well, my family's healthy. We're all enjoying living together, and we'll continue to do so, I'm sure. We do know that there are parents and staff members throughout our community who are not feeling well, and so we certainly hope that they continue to be healthy. We also know others are doing well. This is a time when we can all be looking out for each other and show the kind of community, and we're doing that, the kind of communities that we are around us. We're in a really special place, and we'll get through this.
Well, no question about it. Ken, I know you're busy. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much for participating with us again today. Your Facebook audience is huge. Your social media network is awesome, and we appreciate you helping to spread the word. We're going to continue to count on you for that. And anything else that you think would be helpful for the community to know before we say so long?
Well, we just couldn't be more appreciative of the community in which we live and work, and we certainly appreciate what you're doing right now, sharing great thoughts with all of us. And so whatever you need, I'll be happy to come back on with you and bring others with me. All
right. Well, I appreciate that. I have a favor I need to ask you, but I'm going to ask you off the air. I don't want to put you on the spot on the air, but I'll call you after we get done with the Megacast today. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
All right, very good. What a great guy, doing a great job for the community. One of our fine superintendents in our area. That is Ken Gutman, Superintendent, Walled Lake Community Schools. I'm Dave Scott on this side of the studio. There's Tyler Keefe. You know, Tyler never stops. There he is on his cell phone texting to make sure all the other guests and everything is okay, and working awful hard over there. We want to thank all of you for tuning in today. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back in just a couple of moments with more. You are listening to and watching the Megacast. We're on the Facebook channel, the Walled Lake Schools today. Thank you very much. also on civiccentertv.com, where there's a ton of information we're going to take a look at in a couple of minutes, but you can watch a live stream right there. Huge thank you to Bloomfield Hills Schools and the Biff, now 88.1 WBFH. The Biff joining us with their great signal, covering a lot more territory, and also right here on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Megacast continues after this.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late, we stay informed, we invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Have you ever been driving and heard a faint ding in your pocket? Isn't it tempting to pick it up just to see what it is? Well, stop right there. 9 people die from texting and driving every day in the U.S. Now turn your phone on silent and focus on the road. This message is brought to you by 89.3 Lakes FM and the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program.
All right, thank you very much, West Bloomfield High School Media Arts Program. We got to get some media arts programs, PSAs from Bloomfield Hills, too, now that we've got another radio station in there, Tyler. I'm sure we can get some stuff from them, too.
I'm positive that we can.
All right. Thank you for tuning into the Megacast, 88.1 WBFH, The Biff, 89.3 WBLD Lakes FM, Civic Center Channel 15, Channel 19, and CivicCenterTV.com, and the Walled Lake School District. Thank you so much for participating yesterday on the show. Some really honest commentary from our first responders, like Mike Moore, and the fire chief in Bloomfield Hills. He had to say this yesterday in the show.
I think a lot of this is like watching that snowstorm being forecasted, that there's 6 to 12 inches coming and you're preparing for it. And we've been watching that for a while, and I think it's just starting to snow here. So we're looking at it from this is going to be a long-term event. I think we're just getting flurries at this time, I guess is how I would put it.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunate what he's saying about we're just getting flurries, because, we really sorry about this. I'm just trying to navigate this audio on our website, but we are just getting flurries, because it is going to get worse, Tyler. That's what's really frustrating about the whole thing. Greg Flynn, the fire chief in West Bloomfield, had this to say. He said we are getting to be in the thick of it.
We are still in the thick of this. Remember, as we've described disease transmission, and when we talk about mitigating that and influencing the impact of disease transmission, that it's going to take time. And so a lot of the testing that we're getting right now was testing from 5 to 7 days ago, when we were just implementing some of these measures that the governor put into play. So we're not going to really see the fruit of that, again, probably until the end of this week. So all of these folks that we're seeing come up positive are people that were already exposed and are now becoming symptomatic. Remember, the day we're exposed isn't the day that we get sick. So it takes a few days for things to go in, and then the symptoms can get worse as time goes on.
And that was really an eye-opening comment yesterday from Greg Flynn. He also said, and we got into the discussion yesterday in the program about facilities, because both the fire chiefs in Bloomfield and West Bloomfield yesterday said, hey, look, we have the crew. We can respond to this stuff. But we're not so sure that there's going to be enough capacity at the hospitals. So, Tyler, with what's going on down at TCF Center in downtown, we asked them, what are there projects like that going on in Oakland County? We heard from County Executive Dave Coulter yesterday, and from our fire chiefs, that there are, in fact, plans going on like TCF downtown.
And it goes back to what Pat Watson said when he mentioned that hope is not a plan. And these are precautions that are being preemptively set up in the case of overflow, because there has been hospitals in the state and throughout the country in areas with similar paths and numbers that we have here in Michigan and in southeastern Michigan in particular that are having overflow situations. And the county, the state, especially the Tri-County area, Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne, along with the state health officials, want to make sure that they're out ahead of that so that a new crisis within a crisis doesn't arise and make this even more treacherous than it already is.
So we're keeping an eye on that. Will we in Oakland County see another facility pop up? Really interesting article in the Free Press. I'll try to get a link to it. I saw it last night talking about it, speculating that maybe it'd be Suburban Show Place, might be some other facility. But given the numbers that we have in Oakland County, and you could see them here on our website, and a link to the COVID-19 pages that were talked about yesterday and that are now available through our website or going to Oakland County site. You can go take a look at our entire region. There's a map right here. I've got it on TV. You can pick your community, put your zip code in there, and find out what your numbers are like right now. And I'm telling you, it is a severe eye-opener. So we will continue to keep an eye on all that's going on right here. This is your place to find out what's going on in Walled Lake, in Farmington Hills, in Bloomfield Township, in Birmingham, in Pontiac, in Sylvan Lake, in Orchard Lake, in Commerce, in White Lake, and Waterford. You want to find out what's going on in our area? This is the place to come, and we're going to be here every day. We're getting a lot of help from a lot of wonderful people to tell this story, and joining us in just a moment. In fact, right now, there she is. We welcome Cynthia Kahn to the broadcast, the founder of Refugee for Nations. She's joining us via Zoom. Cynthia, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us here on the Megacast.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. So first of all, nice. You got a nice place there. Tell us where you are and how you're feeling, and is everyone at your home doing okay?
Yeah, thank God. Everything is going well, and we are working very hard. My thought was that, as our first responders are going out and working and helping people, so they put their lives at risk. So why are we sitting at home? So though we have a choice that we can work from home, but I decided to go out and meet all these women, and because the masks that we are making of all different kinds, the women cannot go out because their families don't feel safe and they don't allow them to leave the house. So then I decided to take the responsibility of taking the material to them, giving them all kinds of things that they need, and then they make them at home, and they are so fast and they are so happy because they are still employed, because these are women, because this is their only source of income, and they can get their groceries and feed their families and children. So this is a great program. We are helping refugees and immigrants, but not necessarily at this time. Whoever wants to do it, we provide them the material and they work from home. Then I pick them up and then we distribute it.
Beautiful. So Cynthia, let's back up a little bit and try, because this is wonderful. First of all, I totally applaud you for what you're doing. So Cynthia Kahn, the founder of Refuge for Nations, joining us via Zoom here on the Megacast. And Cynthia, just again, what you're doing is you are making masks, and you've got folks, a lot of immigrant women here in the United States that are making these masks, and then you are distributing them to folks that need it in our area, right?
Yes, and people can call us, and I will be happy to send them or deliver them and whatever their needs are.
All right, and can you hold some of those masks up again so our audience who is able to watch on TV today can see exactly? I mean, those are, if you're going to run around, folks, with a mask on, get one of Cynthia. That is oh my goodness, look at these. They're very attractive. I mean, I don't want to be...
They are colorful and attractive, and they are of all different kinds. So they are... Like I'm just showing you all this, and then I'm showing you that this is the filter that we use, and then this is another filter that we use. So I hope you can see.
Oh, we can see it all great.
This is the filter. We cut it, and then we slide it into the pockets that we make. So the masks are made in a way that there is a pocket here. Here there is a pocket inside, so we can slide in the mask, the filter inside. So then it makes it, very. This is the mask. This is how we cut it. The filter, and we slide it in.
So do you, Cynthia? Do you provide the filter as well, or is that something that consumers who get your mask would go out and get somewhere in the marketplace?
No. We provide them. We make sure that we provide them. We put them in separate bags. So all the masks that they go to them, we ask them to wash them or put them in the dryer on high heat. So then, the virus or any other thing, not virus, but whatever is there is killed, because see, these are made at home. So I cannot guarantee that, though they are here with me and they are on my dining table, and from here they are delivered all over, but I still tell everybody to actually.
Well, I mean, we don't know. We could
dry.
Right now, we don't know, because we could be carrying, you right now, Tyler here in our studio. Any of us could be carrying the coronavirus and totally asymptomatic and not really know about it. So it makes a lot of sense. Wash them, right, and get them sanitized, and then you're out. I don't know about
everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody who gets this mask, they can wash it by hand so that they feel safe about it, and then keep it somewhere like in a plastic Ziploc or something, and when you use it, just use it and then put it back.
All right. So people must be dying to know right now, how do you get it? How do we get one of these wonderful masks?
Okay, they can go to our website, refugefornations.com, and there is an order form, and send us an order, and then we'll show you. So what people are doing, because I have to pay these women and we have to order the material and everything, and Amazon is taking so long to bring to us, but we are somehow managed to get this. But see, that's why we are making these. And the medical people who are asking us, they prefer these because this is more hygienic. So they can also go and donate so that we could get more material, and we are doing it for free for those who need it, especially for medical staff. But but people who want to donate, we are willing to take all the donations so that we could get the mask made and get these women paid, but then we also have some kind
So Cynthia Kahn, if we want to get a mask, and you mentioned Amazon, they're having all kinds of challenges right now. How would we do it if we're here in the local Oakland County area? Is there an easier way to get it?
Yeah, you just go to our website, refugefornations.com, and then you just fill out the order form, and we'll immediately get back to you. There's a form which you fill out your information, and we'll get back to you, and we'll put them in a box, and either I myself go and deliver it if it's close by. Otherwise, we'll put it in the mail.
All right. Well, listen, I want to get some. We're going to order some. We're going to go to your website in a minute. We'll try to do it online and take a quick look. And what a great idea. What inspired you to do this? Where did the idea come from?
To make masks?
Yeah.
Okay. So, see, we have been doing this for almost 3 years, that employing these women and creating jobs in Detroit, because I'm an immigrant myself. And I feel that this is a great country, and we should have more and more jobs in our own country, because our government brought so many immigrants and refugees. So why not put them to work? And they are very willing to work, and they are very talented people. The women that work with me, they are so talented. They are already amazing seamstresses. And then we also partner with Wayne Community College, and they are so generous to start a new program for us where we send these women every semester to get an industrial sewing certificate free of cost. So
Yeah.
this is our partnership with Wayne Community College, WC3 in Eastern Campus, and they are already great seamstresses. So this is the great thing that they are doing, but they are capable of doing much more. We are also looking for getting orders from hospitals or any health facilities of making patients gowns or caps or scrubs or anything, because they are capable of doing it.
Cynthia, it's a great program all the way around. I really want to applaud you. You're helping immigrants get work. You are helping us get masks. There's still a lot of us that haven't figured out, how to source them. And I think there are a lot of people like myself. I don't want to go out and buy a mask and then, get in the way of a hospital or some healthcare provider actually using that. So I've kind of avoided that. I think a lot of other people have. And then you're helping out with this whole corona crisis, keeping people working, solving a problem, helping the hospitals keep the supplies that they should. This is a home run on so many fronts. I want to thank you very much and congratulate you. And we got to zip along here, but we're going to pull your website up, if that's okay. We'll make a link to your website from ours, and we're going to do everything we can to encourage people to participate with you. So great job, Cynthia.
And women are very appreciative of what they are doing. One, that they are contributing at this time of crisis. And we all have to pray for our country and for the world.
And so, no question about it.
Yeah, we are very, very hopeful and positive that everything will be okay in maybe a month's time or whatever.
Whatever the time is, that's the spirit, and we can't control that. But what you can do is you are, Cynthia, flattening the curve by getting more of these masks out, stopping the spread of the coronavirus, helping people get a job. It's just beautiful all the way around. It's refugefornations.com/special orders, REFUGEFOR Nations, NATIONS.com/special orders. And I know that's a lot people are driving around right now. We'll put a link up at civiccentertv.com. Thank you for joining us. Best to you and your wonderful crew, and great idea. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. God bless America.
Yeah, thank you. God bless America, and God bless you and the other women that are putting this program together. Absolutely incredible. Tyler, what do you think about that one?
I think that's another just exceptionally inspiring story. What Cynthia and what Refuge for Nations is doing for people in the community, for just average people that want to have some sort of protection, but not put anybody at risk that's protecting the people, like first responders, and take N95s or any other masks from people that need them on the front lines. And she's helping employ these women that are seeking exactly what everyone else is seeking, and that is the American dream. So she's keeping the American dream alive, and she's helping to keep the community alive and people's spirits up. And that's so inspiring, and it's happening all around our community. I love this story.
So on the on our video channels right now, we've got the website up, and you can see the different masks. You can see the website. You can see just the good nature of this entire project just is glowing through our broadcast today. So again, refugefornations.com/special orders. And I know our web team is listening right now, and they'll make it a top priority to get this link up on the coronavirus page here at Civic Center TV. Very, very inspirational today. That's enough for me just to get through the whole day, Tyler. I mean, I'm sitting at home grumpy. I can't go out, do the things I want to do. And then you run into that. So that's a beautiful story. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. You are watching the Megacast. It's our own local information. You got CNN, you got the networks, you got the big stations here in Detroit, but this is very Oakland County, very local, and we thank you for tuning in. You can watch us on CivicCenterTV.com. You can tune in on the radio, The Biff, 88.1, The Biff, WBFH. You can tune in at 89.3, Lakes FM, and you can watch it all on Civic Center TV. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council. There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Megacast, 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, The Biff, and we thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, Channel 15, Channel 19, and Channel 99 if you happen to be watching on AT&T. If you are watching right now, you are seeing our website. Here is the Civic Center TV website. A ton of information. First of all, new links to all audio-video files from the Megacast so you can hear what folks have been saying. We'll dive into that a little bit more thoroughly in just a moment. But let me take you to the coronavirus page and talk about some of the resources that are on here. The one we've been talking about quite a bit this morning is this amazing map, and you can get to it by going to civiccentertv.com/coronavirus link. Click on the link to Oakland County. And for those of you watching on TV, you can come in here, you can put your zip code in, go to your community, and find out exactly how many coronavirus cases there are. Now, this is the general Oakland County area that we serve, and you can see Southfield, Oak Park, down by the Detroit City line are heavily affected, along with parts of West Bloomfield, Birmingham, Pontiac, less affected right now. And then as you get further out, Rochester Hills, Auburn Hills, Waterford, Orchard Lake area, Novi, Lyon, South Lyon Townships, Wixom, even a little bit less concentration of confirmed coronavirus cases. But again, this is from testing a while ago. Our numbers continue to go up in dramatic fashion. And more about that and where we're at right now and all the information you need is right here in the Civic Center TV site, Coronavirus. We have links to all of the different regional resources, the local communities, the state of Michigan, the Center for Disease Control, and then the Oakland County resources, of which there are many. There's the heat map that we just showed you. Some of the other stories that we're following today on CivicCenterTV.com. Oakland County rolls out new tools to help residents stay informed, such as the heat map and others, and that made big news yesterday. Oakland County plans to create $3 million, a $3 million stabilization fund for small businesses impacted by COVID-19. I could tell you as an Oakland County business person, the Oakland County Business Development Unit, absolutely amazing. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. They can really be helpful. And this is another grant program. This is not a loan. So if you're a business operator, you're in Oakland County, and this program is designed for really small businesses, too. I'm going to go in here and look. I'm pretty sure that it said that the program is for businesses under 20 or under 50 people. So it's a grant program. More information, you can read it all right here at CivicCenterTV.com and in the Oakland County website. But another grant program, so you can add that to the federal SBA disaster relief program that we are eligible for here in Michigan. And then all of that, all of us also supported by the program that passed through Congress and the President's desk on Friday, which has these $1,200 checks coming out to many of us as individuals if you are in the right income category, and then an awful lot of help for a lot of businesses to be able to maintain you as an employee. And the business going out and getting another I'm not going to say non-refundable, that's the wrong word, but an SBA loan that is essentially a grant if you follow all the rules and you keep all of your employees working. A couple of other stories we found of interest. Local restaurants providing meals to homeless shelters in Pontiac. A lot of restaurants not operating at full capacity, so they are helping, along with their school districts, to make sure that we're all fed. And then more stories about the high concentration we have of coronavirus cases here in Oakland County. Friends, we sadly are right in the epicenter of it. More stories about that, and then more stories about Michigan's status nationwide. Michigan increases COVID-19 spending by $150 million at the statewide level. The Detroit Auto Show has been canceled due to COVID-19, and we will not see an auto show here in Detroit till 2021. And we expect that we're going to have hospital beds in TCF Center. Announcement from the governor and others earlier this week. A national story about Detroit and Chicago becoming emerging coronavirus hotspots. No big surprise there. Another story about GM cutting paychecks of salaried workers and executives. So the top folks at GM, in addition to helping us manufacture respirators, they're also taking a pay cut. And then this story I found really interesting. Northern Michigan, a message from Northern Michigan to downstate residents. For the first time ever, our good friends up north are saying stay home. And you know what? I kind of get it. If you have a cabin or property up north, the Yoopers and Northerners are asking you to stay home in the South. There's concern with the smaller hospitals up north being overwhelmed in northern communities that if a number of us in southeastern Michigan decide to run up north, and a lot of us here in Oakland County have cottages and places to stay in northern Michigan. If we go there, we might be spreading the coronavirus. And we have not seen an official order from the governor or anybody saying don't go up north. I'm not sure who the author of this story is. I'll click on it real quickly to see where it comes from, a publication called The Bridge. But I get that sentiment, Tyler. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and from what I've read into this also, the biggest ask from emergency services in particular up north is that people from our area in the coronavirus affected areas in southeastern Michigan in particular don't travel up north unless absolutely necessary, because their emergency services there are much less extensive than they are down here, and they want to make sure that they're not overburdened, because if there's a burdensome amount of cases to be treated up there, it's going to be even tougher for them to mitigate the coronavirus in northern Michigan than it's going to be down here, and they want to make sure that they don't have a severe outbreak up north that they can't deal with effectively.
All right, and this next story that's on our site, it's just useful as a reminder. I kind of thought this was a no-brainer, but I guess not. Not a good time to go golfing. As much as you might want to head out to your local golf course, state has designated golf courses as non-essential activities. Now, I know a lot of golfers might dispute that, Tyler, and I feel that some of my recreational activities are essential as well, but not a good time to head out. You're with a foursome, you're on golf carts, you're walking near each other, you got to go through the clubhouse, you got to get prepared. I get it. I kind of see golfers' perspective on this, but it's been laid down by the state. Golf is a non-essential activity, and we're going to have to wait.
Yeah, I know it's a sticking point in the sports community locally. A lot of golfers in Metro Detroit and southeastern Michigan across the state that are itching to get back on the course, especially with the way that the weather, other than the last few days, has been. But I had a conversation with Ryan Younglove, yesterday afternoon, just before we headed out for the day, about how much we're missing going to the gym. It's something that we have in common. It's an activity that we both enjoy in our own time, and there's only so many push-ups and sit-ups and bodyweight squats that you can do at home before it just becomes too routine, and how much that we're missing going to the gym, but also understand that it's a sacrifice that we and others like us have to make in order to help the greater good of the community, of the state, and of the country to get through this crisis. And so it's the same thing with golfers. As much as they want to get back out there, it's a matter of necessity, and at the moment, it's not something that's absolutely necessary to sustain life.
Well, can't you do a lot of that at home? Somehow.
Oh yeah, there's a lot you can do at home. It's different, and people have to adjust to that.
So, are you guys? I assume there's like workout tools and other things you can do around the house. But right now, I get it. I get it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of moments. I'm Dave Scott. He's Tyler Keefe. You are watching the Megacast. A huge thanks to all who are participating with us. Civic Center TV, Channel 15 and 19 on Comcast, Channel 99 on AT&T. We want to thank, of course, those of you that are watching on CivicCenterTV.com. And a huge thanks to our broadcast partners today. 88.1 WBFH, The Biff. Thank you, The Biff. We appreciate you being with us. 89.3 WBLD, Lakes FM in our Lakes FM studios. We're going to thank ourselves on that one. And a huge thanks to the Walled Lake Consolidated School District. They have today's broadcast on their Facebook page, and we are there via Facebook Live. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you will feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to The Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, and of course, companionship. Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
Fantastic cat. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late, we stay informed, we invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Welcome back to the Megacast here on 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH The Biff, and on Civic Center TV. Good to have you with us. I'm Dave Scott. We are joined now via Zoom from the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Department, Lauren Azoury. And Lauren, how you doing? Good to see you on Zoom.
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Well, good to have you with us. For people that are not familiar with your work on TV, on Civic Center TV, you are the naturalist at West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation, and you always have some really interesting story about what's going on in nature here in our Oakland County, West Bloomfield, Bloomfield Township area, and I've loved some of your stories. This is an old school reference. Tyler, I don't know if this makes any sense to you. I used to love when I was a kid. I'm sure it doesn't. You're too young. I used to love when I was a kid and I would watch Johnny Carson late night, the king of all the late night television shows. And Johnny Carson would have these naturalists on all the time with these animals that would like crawl all over him on TV. Yep. And that always cracked me up. And, I don't want you to bring any little critters into the studio right now, but that would be right up your alley, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I would someday I'll do that for you. No problem.
All right. When we
have plenty of critters at the nature room I could bring over. No problem.
I know you do. So tell people what you do and what you're here to talk about today.
Yeah. So I'm a park naturalist at West Bloomfield Parks, and my main job there is education. So I host a lot of programs teaching the public of all ages. So we do young children programs, we do senior programs, and everything in between. Some of those programs might include guided hikes on our trails. Some of them are school groups that come to visit to enhance their curriculum and what they're learning about at school. Our nature room is open to the public to come and look at native Michigan animals to learn about those as well. So my main job is education, but I also help the park staff with what we should be doing invasive species wise, removing certain plants and adding new plants to help our ecosystem. So I do a little bit of that as well.
So if we are out running around in the community, crawling around out in the woods with our kids, staying 6 feet or more away from everybody, maybe taking the dog for a walk. We got plenty of woods around here. We got great trails in West Bloomfield and all around Oakland County. Is there anything like from what's going on? I mean, I know none of the animals in the woods, the deer, the little crawly critters around there, they're not affected by the coronavirus. But is there something you would recommend we look for? And as we're getting close with nature, other than just going for a walk, things that we could look for and enjoy out as we are taking a walk about.
Yeah, so this is a tricky time of year because we're ending winter and starting spring. So people generally think of this time of year as dreary, but in truth, it really is when everything's coming back to life out there. So I went for a walk the other day and I heard wood frogs singing. So definitely put a listen out if you're near wetland areas for different frog calls. This is the time of year where the male frogs are calling and bringing their mates to the pond. So that's a fun thing to listen for.
Hey,
Birds
be careful.
are
Be careful. This is a family show now. We can't have any of that.
Well, it does happen in the spring. So,
No, that's okay.
But yes, birds are building their nest. So you can definitely see a lot of new bird activity, singing, as well as flitting around looking for nesting materials and establishing their territories for the spring. So there really is a lot happening, and new buds are starting to bloom. So skunk cabbage is one of the first things to bloom in this time of year. It it actually makes friction and heats the ground up, so it melts the ice and snow around it. And it's one of the first things to pop up. And then after that, we start to see some new wildflowers. So there's definitely lots starting to happen out there right now.
Well, it is, and I just go for a walk, and if I'm not careful, all that would be oblivious to me. Sure, it's starting to look better, and we hear the song of birds, and we start to see some things. But I appreciate you pointing out each of those individual things you pointed out, because that gives us something to talk to our kids about and look for as we're getting out with nature right now. Any tips? So like if you're a novice in nature and your kids have been doing what kids do, staying inside, playing video games, any ideas that you can give our viewers and listeners, things they might want to entice their kids with, ideas that they can share with them. Hey, we're going to go see this. Hey, we're going to go do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Any tips for us?
Oh, definitely. So this is trying times, and screen time is probably increased in your home for survival or for e-learning. And it's even more important now than ever to get our kids outside. And it might not even be for a lesson necessarily. It might just be for what you would call recess during school time, but it's super important. Prior to e-learning and the schools being closed, screen time was an average of 6 hours a day without all the additional things that we're adding in during this time. So outside time is really important to our mental health, but you can use it as a learning opportunity too. And I always say, if you're nervous, to take your kids outside, keep it simple. You don't need to create a lesson to bring them outdoors. First of all, let your kids lead. They'll find things that you'll never know about, and then you can discover those things together. And then the other thing is, whatever your kids are passionate about in that time, or whatever their favorite thing is, like right now my son is really into Play-Doh and dot-to-dots. We bring those things outside. So we do a Play-Doh hike, and we take the Play-Doh on our little trail in our backyard, and we make impressions with it. We do his dot-to-dots, outside if we need that time outdoors. So whatever your children are into, you can do that outside. It's really as simple as that. I can give you tons of other fun, unique activity ideas, which I'm happy to share, but I just wanted to start with saying that, it's as simple as just doing what you like outside instead.
Yeah, it's good advice, Lauren Azoury. Thank you very much for joining us here today from West Bloomfield Parks. I know that most of the facilities are open. We don't want kids or families on playgrounds playing on playground equipment right now. We've clearly said don't do that. But a lot of the other things, the trails, a lot of the parks are open and available right now. And as long as you keep your distance from people, it's a perfectly acceptable and the kind of thing that we should be encouraging people to do right now.
Correct. Yeah, West Bloomfield Parks, our dog parks, our playgrounds, and our courts, our tennis courts, etc., are closed currently, but all the parks are open. We, of course, encourage you to follow all the CDC guidelines of staying 6 feet apart and not do social gatherings. But we do want to provide the parks for people that do not have space in their backyard or neighborhood to walk.
And Lauren, I'm sure that's not only true in West Bloomfield, but in all the communities around Oakland County. You would think that that the same kind of thing is going on in most of the communities. That stay away from the playground equipment and the ball fields. Yeah, they said definitely don't get in the middle of a softball game right now. But we're taking your family,
correct.
taking your pets out for a walk. What a great time to do that. And we're going to have some really nice weather over the next couple of days. And then, the thing that kind of blew my mind over the last several days was the realization that we are going to be in this game for a little bit longer than I think some of us thought. And, it looks like the schools are pretty much done for the year. And this is probably going to be a situation that takes us at least through April and likely a little bit longer. So, you can't just stay in your house for 4 months or 3 months. We'll all go crazy.
Right. Yeah, and I agree, definitely. And even just like a little walk is amazing, but there are some fun activities that you can do with your kids and some resources online. I know there's some awesome, right now, virtual museum tours and things like that, but that's just adding to our kids' screen time. So I want to help some parents with activity ideas for what to do where the kids aren't in front of a screen. You as an adult can check out the activity on the screen and then go do it outside.
All right, Laura, well, I'm going to let you decide this. We didn't ask before we came on the air, but if you want to share your information with our team, or if people want to get a hold of you through Parks and Rec to get some more advice, tips, ideas. I know you guys are all working from home right now, and the Parks and Rec building is closed, but is there some appropriate way that people can access information?
Well, actually, our naturalist staff, myself and our other two naturalists, are working with our marketing manager, and we will be putting out some great ideas through our West Bloomfield Parks Facebook page.
All right.
So some of these activities, there'll be links of things to print and bring out with you, things like that. So one of them is a make your own bird feeder. So you can use old milk jugs, put a cut inside it and put it outdoors. I know we put up our bird feeder just a week ago, and my kid has been super entertained by just watching the birds and their activity, their colors. Some birds come to the bird feeder for one seed and then fly away. Some stay and carry a bunch in their beak at a time. So just making really good scientific observations by putting up a bird feeder. And then there are resources online. Wild Birds Unlimited has some great printables for that, so that you can use those to supplement with your learning, what you're teaching your kids. So I can show you a couple of those things right now. But there is activity pages that are available on Wild Birds Unlimited to make your own bird feeder. So instructions for a project for you to do with your child, as well as observation sheets. So things that you might not notice, why they're colored the way they are, their special beak shapes of the things that are coming to your bird feeder. Another program partner is Bees in the D. We do some really awesome activities with Bees in the D. We have 2 of their hives on our property, Shulock property, and they have some really cool activities as well. So Bees in the D has a junior page where they provide activities for adults to teach their children or to learn together even. So they have the little printables and really awesome visuals and things for you to look for while you're outside. So if you can't get a hold of me, those are some good resources.
All right, yeah, I've heard about Bees in the D, really cool, and we're gonna have to go in a minute. But send me all these links, okay, and make sure that your marketing folks get it over here, or if you've got it on a page, just let us know, and we'll put a link to your page, and we'll continue to promote it as people are looking for things to do. You wanted to add one more thing, Lauren? Sorry.
Oh, absolutely, no problem. So while we're talking about screen time, there's a really cool show on PBS called Wildcrats. And it teaches all about animals, and they transform into these animals. It's really fun. But we at West Bloomfield Parks, we host a Wildcrats camp as well. So it goes along with that theme of fun things that kids really love, but also nature related and things that you can take outside. So PBS Kids has a site that has resources for Wildcrats. So if your kid's really into that special nature show, then you can do activities outside to supplement that. So whatever your kid's into, you can take it outside.
Do you have links to the PBS content on your site, or can people just go to the PBS pages and find that?
Yeah, it's pbs.org/parents. Mm-hmm.
pbs.org/parents. We'll get that on our website, too.
Yeah, and I'll share those with you. Yep.
Lauren, thank you so much for checking in today. We really appreciate it. You do a great job. People have no idea all the cool stuff that you bring us around the year. We appreciate it, and especially right now, it's got parents who really got their hands full. You know, it's hard enough for me to understand and cope with what's going around, and I've been here for 61 years. You take someone that's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they don't, it's hard to explain all this to them. So having some of these other activities, a good distraction, a good opportunity, and maybe we have a little more time because we're not working quite as much and doing other things and we're home, a good opportunity to spend more time educating our kids about what's around us in our own backyard. Thank you very much today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, from Parks and Rec, West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, that is Lauren Azoury. What a great segment, Tyler, and we'll get a bunch of information up on our website.
Yeah, it's fantastic what Parks continues to do for educating children on nature in the community. I mean, a lot of their programs for children in normal times are very engaging and on-site at the Recreation Activity Center at one of the parks. And it's tough, of course, to do that in the age of social distancing and COVID-19, and the fact that they're still pushing out all this information and all these activities to keep children engaged in nature and learning in ways to keep them away from screens and out in the world. But safely is fantastic.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're going to check in with local law enforcement officials and find out what is going on, an update from our first responders. We're going to try something a little bit new here for our broadcast. Not a little bit new, a first ever on the Megacast. We're going to try to do magic on the radio and magic on TV. For those of you that can see it, it'll probably be a little bit more interesting, as a local magician will join us from his home. And then we're going to hear from comments over the past couple of days from some of the leaders in our community and their helpful advice and updates during this coronavirus crisis. I'm Dave Scott. He is Tyler Keefe. We are here in the Lakes FM studios. We want to thank our good friends at the Walled Lake School District, as they have put us on their Facebook page today. Big help. Thank you to Superintendent Kenneth Gutman and the whole team at Walled Lake. And we want to thank you for listening across all of our outlets, and that includes 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake, Civic Center TV, Channel 15, Channel 19, and then also on AT&T, Channel 99. And we also invite you to check into our online assets, civiccentertv.com. We literally have a staff of 10 people, actually. Their entire focus is keeping this website up to date with the most up-to-date coronavirus information available. They're doing a great job, and that's also a great place if you're listening on the radio to be able to watch what's going on and see it all if you can't get it on TV or through one of the other outlets. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. This is the Megacast.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
89.3 WBLD Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, The Biff, and Civic Center TV. It's the Megacast. Also want to thank Walled Lake Schools today for being our Facebook partner and joining us today via Facebook Live. A lot of people tuning in, big numbers. People tuning in on Facebook Live. We really, really do appreciate all of you being with us. Well, we've had some really helpful information, very local information over the past several days from our newsmakers right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. One of them is Pat Watson. He is the superintendent of schools at Bloomfield Hills Schools, and he joined us here on the Megacast just yesterday, and here's some of what Pat had to say.
Our expectation and the way we're planning is school's done for the year as far as brick and mortar school. So our whole focus this past 2 weeks has been, when we get back from spring break, and our spring break is next week, what plan can we have in place that really continues learning for our students and moves them forward?
A very frank and honest comment from the superintendent of Bloomfield Hills Schools, making it clear that school is essentially done. Now, we have to get rulings from the legislature and get all that on the record, but that is pretty clear what the status of that is. Fire Chief Mike Morin joined us yesterday as well from the Bloomfield Township Fire Department, and he chimed in talking about how local fire departments are reworking distribution of resources in order to best serve their coverage and people like you.
We're working with divisional type command. They split the county up into 5 different divisions, and we're working together to try to have concentrations of support where it's needed. As this thing shifts in the demand on the system, we want to be prepared so we can move both fire and EMS resources to where they're needed the most.
And Chief Morin yesterday, along with Chief Flynn, was able to share information about how these fire chiefs are going to work together. Let's hear again from Chief. Patiently waiting for us to get all that out is the fire chief of West Bloomfield Township, Greg Flynn. Chief Flynn, thank you for joining us on the broadcast today. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you and Tyler? Doing great.
We are. I know it's a very busy time for you. We'll check in with you in a minute. I want to see if we can see Mike Morin, the Bloomfield Township Fire Chief. Well, this is not exactly the Zoom is working. Chief Morin, I wanted to play for you guys, so I'm going to Mike Morin here real quick. But basically, you guys can go to our website and hear the comments from these folks and hear for yourself. Basically, the fire chiefs yesterday said that we certainly have a significant impact of coronavirus here in our area. The numbers are continuing to escalate. Tyler said that they believe that they'll be in a situation where they can respond, but it's getting more and more difficult at the hospitals, and we're getting closer and closer to the hospitals reaching their capacity. And as you take a look at that Oakland County chart that shows the amount of coronavirus we have in our area, community by community, you can see that is absolutely the case. So that's getting to be a problem. And the good thing, though, is plans are in place. They've not publicly announced anything in detail, but plans are in place to figure out what we can do, just like New York, just like the other regions, just like downtown Detroit. What are we going to do here in Oakland County to make sure we have some extra beds and accommodations for those who are sick?
Yeah, and something that the Chiefs talked about on that note was the changes that they're making to their coverage area and in their municipalities, but also throughout Oakland County, to make sure that they are covered on all bases and they are ready to respond to neighboring communities as they need to help them out and provide assistance.
Well, no question about it. So all those details are right here. They are on civiccentertv.com, and you can get more information. You can hear the comments of the news leaders, like the CEO at Henry Ford Hospital, who was on the show just a couple of days with us. And here's an audio clip from him talking about how he and his staff are staying prepared to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're going to prepare for the worst case scenario. So there are sites that are outside of the hospitals that are being prepared if we need them. We are also talking about how do we, reallocate even within the main hospitals if we need to. We're very blessed, right now that our facility over in Jackson, Allegiance Health, is not seeing quite the same kind of crush that we are here yet. And so if we get to that point where we may need to shift some patients, we have some places to do that. But every day is a new day, and we've had days where things seem like we're kind of leveling off, and then we have days where we kind of reach a new plateau. So right now, it's all about preparing every potential solution that could be out there. And again, as I said, our hope is that we don't have to use most of them.
All right, again, Eric Wallace, Henry Ford Hospital CEO, talking about exactly what we talked about just a moment ago, Tyler, and that is what they're going to do when the hospital beds fill up. And, he said in addition to maybe finding some more beds here in Oakland County, which we're working on, the other possibility is that we ship some of our patients out state. And I got online. I know the governor talked about that, but I did get online, and I'm sure it's all going to get worked out, but the outstate hospitals were not as excited as I think we would be about receiving coronavirus patients from southeastern Michigan.
Yeah, I think every state's taking their own precautions, and there's speculation on what our state will do. Of course, nothing on that line is official just yet, but you have to consider every possible option to have the most effective care for COVID-19 patients and to make sure you're protecting the people of the state of Michigan, but also being effective partners for neighboring states as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us here in the Megacast. I am Dave Scott. He is Tyler Keefe. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to check in with Curt Lawson. He's the Deputy Police Chief and Public Information Officer from West Bloomfield. We'll get an update on what's going on in West Bloomfield. And then we are going to connect with a local musician via Zoom and see if we can do an online magic show. There's been all kinds of things going on with Zoom and the other applications. I don't know about your family, Tyler, but my family, we've been keeping in touch via Zoom while we're all isolated. Really a good thing to do. We should have been doing it all along because we're scattered all over the state and now all over the country. But now that we can't get together with each other and travel to see each other, it's awful cool to be able to do the Zoom thing. We have musicians doing the Zoom thing. Everyone's doing the Zoom thing or the Skype thing. And so today we're going to try magic on TV and radio. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was listening to a station on the way in, a radio station locally on the way in, and they were talking about one of their morning drive hosts was talking about how she was doing Zoom calls over the weekend too, and I know that on Sunday afternoon, shortly after you and I had a phone call on Sunday, I was speaking to my family also via Zoom. A couple of my cousins and my mom, my stepdad, and my brother, all over a Zoom phone call. So everybody seems to be using it now, and it's a new way of communicating, of course, in the age of social distancing. But we'll see; it may even continue beyond that too.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. You're listening to and watching the Megacast on Civic Center TV, Channel 15 and 19, and 99 AT&T at civiccentertv.com. You can also get the audio at lakesfm.com, and we are so happy to be on the radio across Oakland County today on 88.1 WBFH. The Biff, that's 88.1, and 89.3 WBLD Lakes FM, and we will be back in just a moment.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late, we stay informed, we invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
50% of bicycle and pedestrian crashes occur at intersections. Look, wait, turn. Wait for people walking and biking before you turn. Learn more at walkbikedrivesafe.org.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast. Dave Scott here on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com. It's awful good to have you with us. That's Tyler Keefe. Here I am over here. Curt Lawson will be checking in just a couple of minutes from the West Bloomfield Police Department. We'll get an update on what's going on there. Tyler, we've not gotten to our carryout club. I don't know how we kind of went through so much of the show. I haven't been hungry. Maybe that's why we haven't been talking about the carryout club.
We've just been so hard at work this morning, keeping up with our full load of guests that we haven't even thought about food yet.
All right. Well, we are so happy now to be joined by Curt Lawson, the Public Information Officer in West Bloomfield and the Deputy Chief. And Officer Lawson, thank you for joining us on the Megacast again.
It's great to be here again today.
Well, hey, thank you for being here. I want to let you know, I don't know if our team told you, but we are expanding our reach a little bit. We are on another radio station, 88.1 WBFH, the Biff in Bloomfield Hills. So we're creeping a little bit beyond the boundaries of West Bloomfield, Kego, Sylvan Lake, and our Lakes FM coverage area. So you probably talked to some of the law enforcement folks in Bloomfield Hills, Bloomfield Township, and Birmingham, and that area. And I imagine all you guys keep in touch, huh?
Oh, we do. We not only with our local police chiefs and fire chiefs, but at the county level with the Emergency Operations Center. We even talk to people from the state. And certainly we're talking to different hospitals in the area to get their status as well.
Well, and that's certainly the big news of the day. We're just seeing the corona numbers grow much, I think much quicker than any of us really thought, in all honesty. And then Oakland County comes out with that very informative website that you go to, and I'll just put it on the screen here. I think I've got it. We'll get to it in a minute, but you can go to the Oakland County website, put in your own zip code, and find out exactly how many people are affected by the coronavirus, and that's been a real eye-opener for us the last couple of days.
And remember, those are only the individuals that have been tested. And because there's such a lack, or has been such a lack of test kits, we believe that those numbers are much bigger.
Well, and that's what we've heard from our fire chiefs, too, last couple of days. They say the numbers are bigger. And then I ask them, well, will you be able to respond as this thing grows? And they say, yeah, we think we'll be able to respond. The question is, will there be the medical facilities to transport people to? And I think that's the big question mark from their perspective. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. I think as far as public safety here in West Bloomfield, we're in really good shape. We've managed to keep our workforce, both in the police and fire, very healthy. We've taken a lot of stringent steps within our facility to make sure there's a lot of hand washing and checkpoints, and we're taking temperatures. We don't want to ensure that we have a healthy workforce so we can go out in the community and provide medical response. Now, the question becomes, where do we take those people? And there's an ebb and flow of how many patients are at our different hospitals locally. But once those reach capacity, which we believe at some point they will, where do we send those patients from there?
Yeah, well, that is a big question mark. A lot of discussion going on. This will not be new conversation for you or for our listeners, but we're seeing conversation about some other facilities maybe being added here in Oakland County and right in our backyard. And then the possibility, we talked to folks at Henry Ford, they said maybe even shipping some people off to some of the other Henry Ford hospitals around the state. I'm sure you're hearing similar conversations, Curt Lawson.
Well, that's correct. And, it's great that they are kind of upstaffing or building these other temporary facilities. It's just we have to actually staff those with medical personnel. And where do we get those medical personnel from? We get those from other states that haven't been hit as hard as the greater metro area here in Detroit. Those questions, I think, are still not quite answered yet, but certainly it's on everyone's radar.
Now, no question about it. I heard the governor talking on another radio show, WJR this morning, as a matter of fact, saying we need retired medical practitioners to think about coming back and giving us a helping hand.
I think that's a great idea, but the most important thing, once we have people come back, and that I know there's a ton of people out there that want to assist. They want to come out of retirement. We have students that are in universities that want to come help, but we have to make sure that we have the personal protection equipment to keep them safe when we're putting them into these facilities that have been overrun or soon to be overrun by COVID-19.
Yeah, well, and hopefully that's getting better. You're on the inside, you're on the conference calls. Do you see our supply network getting better or worse right now?
Well, at this point, I'll only speak for right here in West Bloomfield, and we are in pretty good shape. We certainly have let our voices been heard as far as that we need this personal protection gear, and we're reaching out to a number of different sources to obtain those personal protection pieces of equipment. So we're doing rather well right now, but we've been reaching out using our contacts in the private industry as well to see what we can get from some different sources that we've never used before, and we've had some pretty good luck.
Is that what's happening, too, in the other municipalities? We hear the governor, poking at the federal government. This should all be coming from you. We should be able to get what we need, but we have to go out on the open market, and we end up competing with other states to get what we need. Are you competing with, like, Bloomfield Township and Waterford and White Lake and other folks around here to get what you want, or is it working out pretty well? And we would understand if you were. I mean, your job is to take care of the people in West Bloomfield. Their job is to take care of the people in White Lake. I get it, but how's that working?
We're doing our best to take care of our residents here, and we're using all of our resources and contacts to make sure we have the proper equipment to get the job done.
So do you guys have conference calls? I think you said this already. You're talking to the other municipalities around here, talking to the county. Can you just put our minds at ease that and we know you're doing a good job here in West Bloomfield, and I know the other communities are too, but this is a big matter for us here in the county. In the county, you take a look county-wide, our numbers are big. They're amongst some of the bigger numbers in the country. And certainly from a statewide standpoint, Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, we have the biggest numbers in the state. So are we doing all we can to work together with everybody to make sure that we're making this happen as a team?
Certainly, I can say from all the conference calls that I've been on, all the conversations of all the different stakeholders within the different communities, we are certainly working well together. And I can say here in West Bloomfield, we were one of the first townships in all of Oakland County to stand up an emergency operations center where we brought all of our partners within the community together to work as a team. We've been able to coordinate our services, and I think we're really ahead of the game than most communities throughout the county. And I think some of the higher numbers that we're seeing could very well be that we were one of the first to be tracking and reporting the numbers. But I honestly believe that the numbers that are being reported are low as far as who has the COVID-19 because of the lack of testing and to a certain extent the lack of reporting that's going on.
Well, hopefully we're going to get out of this thing sooner rather than later. Looks like the schools are done for the year. A lot of people now are saying, well, the president very optimistically said Easter. Most of us think that was probably a sales pitch, not to pick on him and not to get political, but we'd all like to be out by Easter. But now it's looking like April, maybe May, more likely summertime, possibly. We've not seen the curve flatten at all. Our numbers continue to grow, and I imagine that's what we'll see here in the coming days. Any thoughts on that?
I can say that talking to the men and women at our EOC, that the numbers are following their projections. We don't believe that we're going to see our peak here in West Bloomfield for another couple of weeks. But the good good part of this whole scenario is, like I said earlier, our staffing, we're relatively healthy. So we're going to be able to take on the increased amount of medical runs. We've seen a 30% increase in medical runs over the past week. Our fire department has done a fantastic job responding to the needs of our residents, and I don't see any reason why we won't continue to do that.
All right, and my guess is pretty similar story across most of Oakland County. We can only hope, but we hope we have a pretty similar story, that we're as prepared as we can, and we have a ways to go before we get to the peak. Curt Lawson, Public Information Officer in West Bloomfield. Good to hear that you're okay and your team is okay. I know you had a little scare. You thought that you might be a victim of the coronavirus, and you had to go get tested and isolate. How did that whole process go, and how you doing now?
So there was some concern there. Certainly about a week and a half ago, I was not feeling well, feeling extremely tired, and I started to have some symptoms that were consistent with COVID-19. So I did. I wanted to lead by example. I want to model our behavior, and that's what we're doing in public safety. We're modeling our behavior. So I went home. I isolated myself in the lower level. Ended up going to Henry Ford Hospital to get tested, and I just got the test results today, and I'm back at work, is that I was negative. So I'm glad to hear that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of individuals within our community that are coming back positive. And just remember that if you're showing symptoms, don't just show up to the hospital. We want you to call your medical provider. And if you need emergency assistance, don't be afraid to call 911.
Well, I'm glad you're doing okay, because I think you're the only other person other than Tyler and myself who has been in this radio studio. We got our building locked down, and we didn't lock it down the day that you were here, but the minute you left, it was like locked down. We're trying to follow the rules here. We're essential broadcasters, right? Essential communicators, but we're still trying to keep ourselves isolated, and we don't want anybody else in the building. And then news goes around here, and Tyler says, "Hey, Lawson's sick. He had to go get a test." And now we're all going, "Well, I didn't feel too good." And and it gets kind of the point of the whole thing. We've all talked that. And even this morning when I got up, I had like a little sniffle, and then I got like, a little pain, and I was all worried about it. And then I remembered that I'm 61 years old, and that's what happens when you're 61. So it's hard to keep your head straight right now and decide whether or not you got something to worry about. Those that I've talked to that have gone through this have said, once you get into the thick of it, you will know what you got.
Yeah, there's certainly a level of anxiety that's been raised a bit here. So, I'm fortunate that I didn't get it, but I'm still taking all the precautions. I've locked myself in my office here, and this is where I'm going to stay. So, we just encourage our community, keep doing what you're doing, and they're doing an absolutely great job, is stay home, only venture out if you need a prescription or you need to go to the grocery store, and just use all of those precautions that we've been advertising on the township website and through the police department Facebook, because that's what's going to keep you safe. And we're going to get through this. It may take, like you said, to May or June, and it's going to take a lot of patience on everyone's part, but just do us all a favor. We're in this together. Everyone stay home.
All right, very good. Send our regards to Chief Patton. I know he's so busy. He's doing okay, I presume. You're not isolating him from us because he's sick or anything, are you?
No, him and I stay away from each other, though, because we both can't be sick, and we're doing a lot of calling from office to office. But he's doing rather well, but he is working a lot of hours like the rest of the department heads and our township trustees, and certainly Supervisor Kaplan. It's not 5 days a week that they're working. They're working 7 days a week at this point.
No, we get it. And we look forward to continuing to have some dialogue with you. You guys are doing a really good job keeping the community informed. And as we expand the Megacast a little bit, we're not going to get so big that we're not promoting and communicating what's happening here in our local communities. But, we've had some phone calls, and folks said, hey, what you're doing is pretty cool. It would be helpful if we could expand that to a little bit bigger area. So we're working on that. So as you talk to the other law enforcement officials that you dialogue with, just let them know that Dave Scott's not going to ask them any really difficult questions or be, a pain or any of that kind of stuff. And we look forward to talking to your colleagues around the county and getting additional information that impacts people right in their own communities. So If you can spread the word, we appreciate it. Anything else before we have to say so long?
Anything I can do for you, we can make that happen. We can get you a whole bunch of contacts. So no
All right,
problem.
very good. And thanks again. Every time we're on the police department's Facebook page, our numbers go through the roof. So thank you. You guys are doing a good job with your Facebook page, communicating out.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
And if you get a chance, take a look at our website. We have a ton of information. I've got like 3 or 4 people working on our website virtually 24/7 to get the latest coronavirus information out there. So that's how good. Anything we can do, let us know, Curt Lawson.
You got it. Have a great day.
Okay. He is the public information officer from West Bloomfield and the deputy chief of the West Bloomfield Police Department. And for those of you that have not had an opportunity to meet him in other communities, Tyler, he's a great guy. And we got a great team here. But I know there are great teams in all of the departments around our area. We're going to continue to chat with law enforcement officials across our area and find out how the response is in each and every community.
Yeah, and as we continue to, as you said, gradually, but to a certain extent, extend our broadcast and our purview, we'll talk to more departments and see how they're doing. We have a fair idea of how West Bloomfield's fire and police, EMS, are doing, and it'll be interesting to see how our neighbors also are responding to this crisis.
All right. So every time on the show about this time of day, or sometimes usually a little earlier, we go to our website. This is the Civic Center TV website if you're watching on TV. We click on the Carryout Club link, and the Carryout Club is a collection of restaurants in our area, in the greater Bloomfield area. And in Oakland County that are open for carryout, and we put together a list. And Tyler's favorite part of the broadcast is when we go through each and every restaurant. Now, it'll only take a minute or two. We got a ton, and Captain Jeff has been doing a really good job adding restaurants. These are all really good places, people that they know they're on our web page. They're encouraging you to come take advantage of the carryout. We want to get you connected with the restaurants because we want to see their businesses continue to stay afloat during these challenging times. And it does get a little boring eating mom's meatloaf day after day. So this will give you a chance to break that routine up a little bit. So Tyler, I got the website up. You got it on your cell phone?
I've got it on my phone, so
it can work either way. Let's run through the list.
All right. Well, at the top of our list currently, we have Beyond Juicery and Eatery in West Bloomfield Township with the Honey Tree Grill immediately under it. Papa Romano's in Bloomfield Township on West Maple Road. Thai Taste to Go also in Bloomfield Township, that on Telegraph.
Can you say that like 3 or 4 times in a row?
Thai Taste to Go. Thai Taste to Go. Thai Taste to Go.
You are a WBFH graduate, no question about it.
Oh,
they taught you well at the BIF.
They did. They did teach me well.
All right.
Continuing on Diamo, Bloomfield Township on Telegraph Road. We have Mex, which is on Telegraph in Bloomfield Hills. The Moose Preserve Bar and Grill. Thai Street Kitchen in Bloomfield Hills on Woodward Avenue. La Marsa of Bloomfield Hills. Szechuan Gourmet on Telegraph Road, Brugger's Bagels, Sushi Hana, John's Cafe, Eddie Merlot's Prime.
Wait a minute. Where's John's Cafe?
John's Cafe.
I've not been. Okay, so I mean it's here in the list. So let's just go find it. Let's see if we can figure out about John's Cafe. So I clicked on the link. Breakfast all day. Please don't forget about the most important meal of the day, people. However, if you wake up and somehow you don't forget, don't panic. John's Cafe has you covered. Literally all day. Good food at a fair price waiting for you. Call in your order, and they will fill it at John's Cafe today. Then there's a map here on the website. I've been to John's Cafe. It shows exactly where they are on Woodward in Bloomfield Hills, their phone number, their hours, and these little reviews. Captain Jeff is continuing to make those timely and unique. So we invite you to click on the links and see what's going on at places like John's Cafe. Carry on.
Yeah, carrying on. Eddie Merlot's Primed Age Beef and Seafood on Woodward and Bloomfield Hills. Little Daddy's also on Woodward. Joe Muir Seafood. We have the Chatilla Bakery on West Maple Road. That is in West Bloomfield Township. New Yotsuba Japanese Restaurant and Sunny's Cafe, both West Bloomfield Township. The Soul Cafe, which is a service, of course, of the Friendship Circle in West Bloomfield, just up the road from us on Drake Road. Greek Islands Coney Restaurant, Prime 29 Steakhouse in West Bloomfield on Orchard Lake. Chow Italian Bistro and Wine Bar, Mena Sushi, The Grill in Sylvan Lake. We talked to them last week on the program. Orchard Lake Mezza, just before Pontiac Trail on Orchard Lake Road. The Fifth Tavern, Bosco's Coffee and Kitchen, a favorite from Kego Harbor. Ellen's Bakery and Cafe down in Sylvan Lake. Bellacino's Pizza and Grinders, also in Sylvan Lake. And then right across the street from Abbott Middle School, there's Philo Fresh in Kego Harbor. Another good friend of ours from last week's shows, Indo Restaurant on Cass Lake Road in Kego Harbor. We have Romana's Carryout and Catering in West Bloomfield. Loya Organic, Chinatown. The Honey Baked Ham Company on 14 Mile Road in West Bloomfield.
So you go to the Honey Baked Ham Company and get a sandwich. I've never done that. You go in there.
I have not.
You don't have to get a whole ham. They'll cut you a sandwich, and you can have lunch there. That's right in the mall at 14 and in Orchard. That's cool. All right.
Continuing on, Crispelli's Bakery and Pizzeria on the Boulevard on Orchard Lake Road. Smash Burger, and then, of course, Chefs for Seniors of Northwest Detroit's suburbs. Their contact information on that page.
That is a outlet that will put together meals for a week for seniors and deliver it to your home. So it's different than a lot of the other restaurants. It's an amazing service. And if you got a friend in our area that you can't get to every day, and you want to make sure they have food all week long. That is one of many good options, but that's a very unique option, a great service, really.
Yeah, continuing on, one of the favorites of Kego Harbor, Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant on Cass Lake Road, just north of Roosevelt Elementary. Sura Korean Restaurant on Orchard Lake in West Bloomfield. The Red Coat Tavern, Jersey Bagel, Deli, and Grill. El Chile Mexican Grill, we had some of their food recently. Bistro La Bliss, Harbor Steakhouse, Alamara, we ate there last week after the program. The Lodge Bar and Grill, Leo's Coney Island, and our first carry-out partner, Stage Deli of West Bloomfield.
All right, I know that's kind of like a school closing list, like we used to hear on the radio. Remember? We don't do that anymore because of the internet. But it's just our way to remind you these restaurants are here. And wow, we got a lot.
We do.
We got a lot. So if you've not tried one of those, why not? Okay, and if you got to drive an extra mile or two, maybe you drive down to Telegraph if you live in Commerce Township, or you drive out to Haggerty if you live in Bloomfield Hills, or whatever. I mean, you're on the road. It isn't going to matter if you go a couple of more miles. You're in your car. And maybe a good opportunity to support some of these restaurants. Listen to 88.1 The Biff and 89.3 Lakes FM while you're driving around, and support these restaurants. Let's keep them alive. You think about it, I didn't realize we had so many great restaurants within our immediate listening area. We could, after this is all over, Tyler, I'm going to see if I can work my way through all these restaurants. It's going to be bad for the diet, but I think we work our way through all these restaurants, just get to know these folks, but they won't be here if you don't get out and support them in a safe way, and we hope you do. It is the Carryout Club, and you'll find all those listings and very unique local information about each one. All you got to do is go to civiccentertv.com, and it's all there. Okay, we're going to take a break. I hope we are ready for our next segment. I've been looking forward to it all day. I can see that we are. There's a quick view of our magician. Jacob, we're going to get to you in just a minute. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be doing magic on radio and TV for the first time ever during this coronavirus crisis. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, back in a moment on Lakes FM, The Biff, and Civic Center TV.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to The Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, and of course, companionship. Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
Fantastic cat. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
89.3 WBLD, Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, The Biff, Civic Center TV on Channel 15 and Channel 19 on Comcast, Channel 99 on AT&T. And we really invite you today to go to our Civic Center TV website. Go there. You're going to find a ton of information, all the things we're talking about on the radio, and a whole lot more all there. And you can also watch the broadcast on your smartphone or on your desktop and see all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I'm Dave Scott. He is Tyler Keefe, and joining us now is Jacob Shamayev. And Jacob, thank you very much for joining us here on the Megacast. How you doing today?
Good. How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing really good. So earlier we heard from Cynthia Kahn. What a great story that was. And she was telling us all about a group of folks who are making masks and other apparel, Tyler, for people that are in the hospital. Now we're at home. We're bored to death. We're just getting tired of doing the same old thing. And here comes Curt, a local magician, sorry, Curt. And Curt's going to do magic for us on radio TV. So, Jacob, tell me, forgive me. Jacob, tell me about yourself and where you're at and how you became a magician. So, yeah, just
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Just tell us about yourself and how you became a magician.
So I got inspired doing magic at the age of like 6 or 7, and I probably didn't start performing magic professionally since high school. I would say like my sophomore year of high school, and I've been doing it for a long time, and
so I
love it.
Jacob, is this an avocation for you, or is this what you do full-time for a living to pay your bills? You are a full-time magician.
I would like to be a full-time magician. I'm currently in school. I'm studying business. I want to get my degree in marketing, and after I graduate with a marketing degree, I want to pursue my career as a magician.
Yeah, I think they go hand in hand really well. I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So what can we do? Now, there are some people that are listening on the radio and can't see anything, but we got a lot of people that are seeing you via Zoom. By the way, we got a great Zoom signal from you. You look great. So what do you have in store for us today?
I think the volume died.
Okay, you can't hear us for a while? So that's going to...
Oh, I can hear you now.
It's probably going to go in and out a little bit. It is Zoom. We're on the Internet. Everyone is on the Internet right now. But, I mean, did you want to just talk about it, tell us what you're doing, or can we actually do some magic here on TV?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have here a deck of cards. Just what I'm just going to set it right here. I'm just going to be holding on to it. Are you familiar with all 52 cards?
I unfortunately have played a little bit of cards in my lifetime.
Oh, very good. So you know that there's red cards and there's black cards. There's clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. The diamonds and hearts are the red. The clubs and the spades are the black. Now you're gonna make all the decisions and all the rules. We're gonna treat this like a game.
Okay,
right?
I like it.
So you like that?
Yeah.
So do you wanna eliminate cards as we go by, or do you want to just choose one right away?
So
it's up to you.
I could choose a card right away, and then you're going to find that card, I presume, or we can do that.
Yeah,
Is that
so
what we want to do?
You can either choose any card you want right away just now, or you could eliminate cards one at a time.
I don't know, Tyler. What do you think? What would you recommend?
Let's eliminate cards. Okay, so let's do clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Which one do you want to eliminate? Do you want to eliminate the clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds?
That's too big of a decision for me, Tyler. Clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds?
Let's go clubs.
Clubs. Let's get rid of all the clubs. Okay.
What's the next suit you want to get rid of?
I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Hearts. So we're going to get rid of clubs, and we're going to get rid of hearts.
Okay, what's the next one you want to get rid of?
Spades.
Spades. And we're left with what? We're left with diamonds.
Diamonds will be left.
Well, diamonds will be left.
Right.
So out of all the diamonds that are left, which one do you want as your final decision?
I'm kind of a big fan of the 10 of diamonds. If you actually ask me, yeah, one of my favorite cards.
The 10 of diamonds.
Oh,
and
that's
there's no way. There's no way I could have
10
known
of
that card in advance.
I'm sorry?
There's no way I could have known about the 10 of diamonds in advance, right?
No, absolutely. We did not talk at all about the 10 of diamonds in any way. This is the first time I've ever talked to you and ever met. I would not do that to this audience.
Never.
No.
Never.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the cards. All right. 10 of diamonds, right?
Keep it in front of the camera.
Look, 10 of diamonds.
Yeah, we're waiting for the 10 of diamonds. I got the 3 of spades. He's just going to go, and he is going to find the 10 of diamonds. I bet it's going to be missing. It's not going to be there anywhere. I didn't.
Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Right here.
it's upside down.
There's one card upside down.
How the heck did you get the card I chose upside down?
The one card upside down out of all the others. It would be amazing if that was the 10 of diamonds. You could eliminate any suit you want.
Yeah, it would be amazing. If it's not, hold on, don't turn up. There it is, the 10 of diamonds.
Wow.
I was going to say,
man.
if it wasn't the 10 of diamonds, Tyler, I was going to say interview over because that would. But how did you do that? That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell us. That's part of the thing. A magician never tells a secret.
Oh, no.
So, people, is magic, magic used to be like it, back in simpler times. Yeah. How's magic doing? Is magic still holding up in our, very digitally connected world now?
I think magic is a very trendy thing. It's always on Instagram. It's always on Twitter, always on Facebook. I think America's Got Talent plays a huge role in magicians. There's so many magicians that won that show. 2 magicians, actually. There's magicians on national television all the time. So I think magic's a great thing. Everyone knows about it. And I think it's good that social media plays a big role in magic.
So how is that working? How is social media actually helping keep magic alive now, Jacob?
Because people always post magic. You see all great magic posted on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat. So,
well, it's really cool. And if people, let's say they're stuck in the house for another month or 2, unfortunately, can they start working and learning some magic? Is it something that parents can do with their kids, or is it something that we should leave to the professionals?
Yeah. I actually teach my clients magic. If they like besides doing a show for them, I actually teach magic for a living as well. I don't just perform it, but I teach it.
Jacob,
and I'm also self-taught.
You did, so you figured all this out on your own. You didn't have anybody help you.
Yeah, I'm a self-taught performer. Yeah.
Jacob Shamayev is with us. He is a magician here on the Megacast. We only got a minute or 2 more. So, Jacob, are you doing magic shows via Zoom or some interactive media right now?
Not at the moment, but I do want to post more content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm trying to work on marketing my image a little bit. But because of coronavirus, it's been really, really hard. I've had a lot of things canceled.
No, I get it. And we know what that's like, and that's why we're really glad to have you here and do anything we can to to help local people get connected with people, and hopefully you're going to come out of this really strong, Jacob. We hope. So you do magic shows and you do magic lessons for people that want to learn a couple of magic tricks, right?
Yes, and I mostly do corporate events, weddings, bars, bat mitzvahs, communions, trade shows. I do everything.
All right. What is the best thing you got in your act? I mean, what's the one thing that everyone, oh my gosh, how did he do that? What is the number one hit on the hit parade for you, Jacob?
Honestly, that's a really hard question to answer. because like there's a lot of good magic. Like I don't have like my favorite trick. I think the real key here is variety, because people want to see different things. They don't want to just see one card trick. They don't want to see a coin trick. Like they want to see stuff with different items, different objects. You know, I could do magic with anything. Like I can change a dollar bill into 100. You know, you name an object, I can do a magic trick with it.
All right, what do you
for example,
okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you see this marker?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch the marker. I could literally blow and it'll vanish for like a second. I'll make it come back.
No way. Now, is that a TV trick, or how did you do that? Is that
it's a filter. I'm kidding.
Okay, can you do that? Hold on. Do that again. Do that. Hold on. Can you do that again? I want to see that again. We're going to watch close.
I'll do it again.
All right.
You see it?
Yeah.
Watch again. That's the marker.
Yeah.
And it comes right back.
That is amazing. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye. No, that is absolutely amazing. All right, Jacob. Wow. Well, does that marker actually write? Well, we're not going to ask that because that's you know, we don't want you to reveal all your tricks. No. We got time for one more, and then we got to go. Go ahead.
One more.
One more.
All right. You see the dollar bill?
Yeah, I see the dollar bill.
Yeah. All right. You can see not only can you see the back, but you can see the front.
Yes.
Watch very closely. On a count of 3. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Oh, my.
For those of you listening on the radio, Jacob just turned a $1 bill into a $20 bill. We could use a lot more of that with the economic downturn we're facing right
business, now. I got to say.
Jacob, we got to go. Thank you very much. Jacob Shamayev joining us here. If people want to get a hold of you, do you have a website or any information that you'd ask people to go to find you?
I don't have a website at the moment, but you can see all my news clips. I've been on CW. I've been on Fox 2. I've been on Channel 7. If you search my name, you'll find it.
All right. Well, let Larry, the producer, know your information, and now you can tell people you've been on the Megacast too. Just add that to that list, and your phone's going to start ringing like crazy.
Oh, right at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Jacob Shamayev joining us here on the Megacast. A little difficult with the delay. It's kind of like satellite delay. So thank you very much for understanding all that. So a fun way to end up the show. Bottom line before we say so long today is, we got our hands full right now. There's no question about it. The coronavirus in Oakland County, in West Bloomfield, in Bloomfield Township, in our area, across the county, in particular in our part of the county, is a little bit further along than I think most people thought at this point. And the numbers are continuing to grow. So it's incumbent upon every single one of us to do what we can. And you don't need to do something really big and dramatic and visible, although that's good too. You could be like Cynthia Kahn, who was on the show earlier today, and she's put a number of immigrants together and built a company that's making the most beautiful face masks you've ever seen. With filters, very functional. You could do what Cynthia's doing. You could do what Jacob is doing and continue to figure out a way to entertain people, hopefully entertain them online, or do what all of our first responders or other folks around are doing to try to help. But, Tyler, the best help that everybody can make is to stay home, follow the guidelines, keep your distance, do all the wash your hands right, do all the things that we need to do. And I'll tell you one thing, maybe some people are going to start to get cynical as the time gets a little bit longer and it gets harder and harder to continue to isolate. But, hey, we got to try this. We got to try this, and doing all this isn't going to make anything worse. No matter what we do, if we follow all these guidelines, it isn't going to make anything worse, but it darn well better and most likely will make things a lot better for everybody. It's time we all in our community step up and make a difference.
The research community, the first responders, the emergency services, the health community, all assures that to flatten the curve, we have to prevent interaction that allows this virus to continue to spread. So social distancing, isolation, making sure that if you're going out, it's for something that's absolutely essential. We have to follow those in order to protect ourselves and help each other. And, it's great to see, and we've talked to many people this week and especially today, people that are out there that are doing all those things but still finding a way to help other people. And one of my most profound moments in my time here at Civic Center TV and Lakes FM was talking to a photographer in Sylvan Lake who, in my interview with her, said, you have to take whatever talent you have and help people. And I think that there's a lot of those kinds of people in the community that are doing that. And it's very inspiring while everyone else is doing their own part in being inspiring and following these directives so that we can help get ourselves out of this.
I want to thank all the medical professionals, the first responders, all of our guests today. Kenneth Gutman, Superintendent of Walled Lake Consolidated Schools. I want to thank Kenneth also for bringing along his Facebook page today. Makes a huge difference. Helps us reach an awful lot more people, and that's great. Thanks to Lauren at West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, Curt Lawson, West Bloomfield Township Chief Information Officer, and all of our previous guests over the past couple of days that we were able to hear from again today with very helpful advice, helping us get through these difficult times. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, live from 10 to noon, and you can also go to civiccentertv.com if you want to see the entire broadcast, or maybe just want to go listen to some of the interviews. It's all there. Tons of information from all of the folks that are there to help you at civiccentertv.com/coronavirus. And I want to thank all of our media partners. Civic Center TV, I really want to thank the folks at the BIF 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills for everything they're doing to get this broadcast on the air. And I want to thank you for being with us again today. Be safe, be healthy, and we look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. And then if you missed any of the broadcasts, just stay here because it will repeat on all of our outlets throughout the day. For Tyler Keefe, I'm Dave Scott and the entire crew. There's about 10 or 15 people working behind the scenes on this show. Well, we don't have time to say thank you to them individually today. We will tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.